ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः सूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राढ्या पारिषद्या परस्वतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिज्ञकस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजोवारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः मुनिभावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्नयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अकृतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. With Swami's anugraham, let us continue. We partook the darshan of Bhagavan Sriman Narayana in last session. Very beautiful slokangal number 20 and 21, number 19, 20 and 21 in Adhyayam 7 and Skandam number 4. We will move on to slokam number 22. Where Bhagavan Darshan, immediately what you do once you have Swami manifesting in front of you in whichever form he chooses, that gives you the maximum bliss and maximum happiness, because Bhagavan can take any form at any place at any time he wants. But the main reason he manifests himself is to shower happiness and bliss, nothing but that. Along with that comes succor, love, prema, confidence, rejoice, hope, whatever you want to call it. A tremendous happiness and bliss comes. So immediately, without it's a involuntary action, because all of us belong only with and in Bhagavan only. So the reaction or the action, whichever way you want to call it, when you see Bhagavan Darshan, is immediately to worship him, to do namaskaram to him, to bend down in all humility, because this is home. And that is what every one of them did immediately. Tam upagatam alakshya sarve suraganadayah pranemuhu sagasra utthaya brahmendra tyaksha nayakaha. Tam upagatam alakshya sarve suraganadayah pranemuhu sagasa utthaya brahmendra tyaksha nayakaha. So saha sa uttaya. The saha sottaya, you can say asa uttaya. Okay. Tam upagatam alakshya sarve suraganadayah pranemuhu saha sa uttaya brahmendra tyaksha nayakaha. Upagatam, one who has come close, nearby. Because remember, Bhagavan is now coming not stationarily. Very beautifully, he's coming on the Garuda Vaganam. So beautiful it is, right? Upagatam, one who has come near. Tam alakshya, seeing him. Alakshya means seeing him. And Tam, Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, Sriman Vishnu, seeing him. Sarve Suragana Adeyaha, Sarve Suragana Adeyaha. All Devaganangal, whoever, all the people, all the Devas and other groups of Devas are present there. Brahma, Indra, Tyaksha. Tyaksha, it's actually Tyambakam Ejamahe, we say like that. That is 3 eyes. We say Trinetradhari, we say that, but Sivaberuman, Brahma, Indra, Sivaberuman, Nayakaha, all those leaders, right? They all, Sagasa, immediately, Uttaya, got up, stood up, and Pranemuhu, they did namaskaram to him, with both mind and body completely surrendered, not just a body namaskaram, but complete surrender. That is pranemuhu. Okay? Right? Tam upagatam alakshya sarve suraganadayah pranemuhu sagasa uttaya brahmendra takshanayakaha. Now, next what happened? Bhagavan's effulgence, Mahavishnu's effulgence is all powering, overpowering. Everything becomes, when you have a 30-watt bulb, for example, burning, and all of a sudden the whole room is now flooded with, let us say, 1,000 watts or 5,000 watt light. How will the 30-watt bulb look? Right? It will be like that. The effulgence that they were giving, their luster and all that, was completely subdued. Okay? And they were, what happens when you have Bhagavan's darshan? Obviously, you don't talk. There are several reactions happen based upon what Bhagavan wants you to do. Everything is his will only. But generally what happens, people do not talk. They wait for his command, like the way Hanuman was, like the way you look at even Prahlada, everybody. Unless Bhagavan asks you, what do you want? What is the matter? Some kind of a question, some kind of a thing, he gives you permission. Then only you start speaking. So you become tongue-tied, not out of fear, but out of true reverence. True reverence. Now, when you go and have a darshan of Ramana Maharishi or Kanchi Mahapariva, you don't talk. You may be the most talkative person in the world, but in that presence, it is basically the ocean of peace and Shantam. You actually become tongue-tied. You wait for the command from him, what to do, what to say, right? Sometimes the command will come with a raise of an eyebrow. Immediately you start speaking. Or sometimes they ask you questions. Where are you from? What is your name? Like so many questions, simple questions to put us at ease. Otherwise, how can you, at what level can you talk with Parabrahman? Impossible. Unless he comes down to your level and say, what is your name and where are you from? How can you, what else can you talk? So he has to put you at ease, right? And by doing that, Bhagavan gives you the blessing and the eternal pleasure of the sambhashan, the interchange, which you revel and relish, not only in this birth, but through all births, because that moment, that interchange is always fresh and it is eternal. So that is what happens here. So these people, they became tongue-tied. Now, next word that they're using, again, let me read, you're going to see the Sanskrit padam for that. Sa sad vasaha is one word that's going to come. We will discuss it. Sa sad vasaha. it can be interpreted as being hesitant, and some people translate it as being afraid. No, there is no fear in the presence of Bhagavan. Trust me, there is absolutely no fear, because it is only reverence and worship. Now, yes, obviously, my guilty conscience is there, all the mistakes, the hurts and the harms that I have done, all the selfish desires, whatever I may be battling inside. Yes, they definitely could come up. I'm not saying no, depending on, but that is not fear, because this is exactly where, even without you surrendering everything to him, Bhagavan actually makes you surrender. So surreptitiously and so indelibly it takes place. By itself, the surrender takes place. But that surrender is out of tremendous reverence and worship. That is what comes. Tongue-tied and very reverentially, all these Devargal, Brahma, Indra, Sivabrahman, everybody, not only pranemuhu, they did namaskaram, but now they had their hands over their head and doing namaskaram. So that's exactly what happens. And then they started their prayers to him. Stuti, not praise, prayer. Please understand the difference. Bhagavan does not want my praise. He's not looking for it. Who am I to praise him? On what measure of performance can I praise him? What is my measure? What qualification do I have even to recognize that he is full of love? No, it is only prayer. Always understand. Stuti, stotram, these are all prayers, not praise. So, slokam number 23. Tat tejasa hataruchaha sanna jigvaha sasad vasaha murdna dhruta anjali putha upatastuhu adhokshajam. Tat tejasa hataruchaha sanna jigvaha sasad vasaha murdna dhruta anjali putha upatastuhu adhokshajam. Tat tejasa, Bhagavan's lustre, the effulgence. Hata ruchaha, being diminished in their own lustre. Okay, they're also shining, but their lustre is now very much diminished. Hata ruchaha. Sanna jihvaha. Jihva means tongue. Sanna jihvaha means tongue-tied, not being able to, nothing comes out from the mouth. Sanna becomes truly tongue-tied. Sasad vasaha, one of reverential waiting, for Bhagavan's command, what to do next, right? So, not out of fear, again, please, it's reverence and worship. It is a prayerful attitude that comes. Murdna means head. Dhruta anjali putaha. Murdna dhruta anjali putaha. With both hands, anjali, you know what it is. Both hands, anjali putaha joining together. Murdna dhruta, over the head. Okay, basically raising both the hands over the head and doing namaskaram, anjali there. Adhokshajam upatastuhu. Adhokshajam. Adhokshajam means it is like a Bhagavan who's so bright. It's incredibly bright he is, like a lightning it is. Okay? And so mesmerizing also. That Adhokshajam upatastuhu, they started their stuti, prayers to him. Tat tejasa hataruchaha sanna jigvaha sasad vasaha murdhna dhruta anjali puta upatastuhu adhokshajam. Number 24. Then he continues. Now, on what basis will I even pray to Bhagavan? What do I really know? So important to understand this. Arvak Vrittayaha is a padangal that is coming in this lokam. Arvak Vrittayaha. That means incompetent, unable, not even, I wouldn't say not qualified, because qualification comes when the heart's yearning is there to pray Bhagavan, to pray to him. The qualification not. Everybody has got qualification to pray to Bhagavan. There's nothing required. There's nothing, no special qualification required to be with Bhagavan. Okay? The only thing is a sincere desire and yearning is all that is required. But as Sabari tells Rama, Swami, what am I? I'm nothing. I have not read, I have not done tapas, I don't know Vedas, I don't know anything. How can I praise you? I'm not even able to praise you. I'm not even able to pray to you. All I'm saying, please, all I did was this. I plucked these fruits, tasted them every day, waiting for you, doing this for so many years. That's all I did. Other than the love I have for you, Rama, I have nothing else to offer you. That's all. And Rama says, I don't want scholarship, I don't want education, I don't want anything else. The only thing I look for is love from the devotee. And he says, Sabari Akshu, you are a great devotee. Bhagavan says you are a bhakta. My God, you don't need anything else beyond that. That is the highest degree one can get. So, like that, Arvak Vrittaya means not able to offer prayers. The previous lokam we said they started that prayers, but now how do you pray? Even that you don't know what to do, except you, because you know Bhagavan is Parabrahman. Compared to that, what am I? Right? So, but they also know Bhagavan is Karuna Sagara, with a nice Prasanna Vadanam, with eyes twinkling in love and humor and comfort. Doesn't matter. The ability is not required to pray. Okay? Don't hesitate. So with that push and pull and imbibing that prema of Bhagavan, they started their prayers, stuti. And how did they do it? Everyone prayed according to the way he wanted. This is so important. I need not quote some big scriptures and somebody else's scholarship and use words from there, or quote stotrangal or whatever. No, not necessary. You pray according to the way you want. Bhaktya Ichchati, Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, the way they desire, whatever the way you desire, you pray. And that is what they did. Okay, this is very Yatha Mati is the Sanskrit padam that is going to come. Okay, so those are very important. And see, this praying to Bhagavan has to be very sincere. Like Sabari Swami, I don't even know how to pray to you. No, that is a sincere thing. I don't know how to surrender to you. Yes, very sincere, very truthful. Bhagavan loves it when you speak the truth like this. If I tell one anecdote, a couple of anecdotes occurred to me, I'll share with you. When Swami asked in the line, Darshan line, who are you? And Bhagavan will play like this. Who are you? It's a question that asked to you. How will you answer this? When Parabrahman himself is asking that question, no, Swami, I'm so and so. No, that's not. That's factual answer to the way you know. But then if you try to be extra smart and say, Aham Brahmasi, Aham Brahmasmi, like that's a Vedic truth. If you quote that, immediately Swami will catch you. Oh, I see. Aham Brahmasmi. What is Brahma? He will say. Next question. So you're caught. Our next question is, you can say, Swami, I'm Ananda Swarupa, Swami. Oh, really? Good. So what is Anandam? So, you see, you have to speak the truth. And one person said, oh, Swami, I'm you. Okay, because there is no, Bhagavan himself says there is no difference between you and me. You and I are one. I know it, but you don't know it. That's where the trouble comes. There is no difference, absolutely no difference, Swami says. So, without realizing that oneness, and this person says, Swami, I'm you. Immediately, Swami, oh, very good. Okay, now you go and give darshan to everybody in the line. So, this is what will happen. So, Bhagavan is, even as Dhruva found out in his interchange with Sriman Narayana, which is going to come later in the next adhyayam or few adhyayams later, that when you get into this kind of a verbal smartness with Bhagavan, impossible to win. Impossible. Okay, as even Tahir says in the Arabi Raga Pancharatna. If you are interested in that, you can look at the Charanam for that Pancharatnam, Arabi, and you will see what the meaning of that Charanam is. So, Bhagavan is impossible. Vachaspati, we say. Okay, Bhagavan is Vachaspati, Patihi, for all the walking and the words and all that, he is the master. So, keeping all this in mind, you pray the way you want, sincerely. There is no deficiency, there is no inadequacy, there is no comparison with somebody else. No, nothing like that. Those are the important messages from this slokam, the next slokam that is coming. Okay? Api arvag vrittayah yasya mahitu atma bhuvadayah yathamati grunanti sma kruta anugraha vigraham. That is all we can do. Yathamati grunanti. No, you should, in spiritual matters, one should desist from comparing with others, because I really don't know where others are. Only Bhagavan knows. But I must be true to myself and my relationship with Bhagavan. And whatever he wants me to do, I must do. If I'm falling short, if I'm not doing it, that's an interchange between me and Bhagavan. That's how you improve. Okay? It's an individual, highly personal journey, no comparison of any sort. So, Yathamati Grunanti means exactly that. We'll take up the padangal again and go through it. Api arvag vrittayah yasya mahitu atma bhuvadayah yathamati grunanti sma kruta anugraha vigraham. Bhagavan is Karunamurti, is nothing but anugraha vigraham. What a, can you imagine, Vyasa Bhagavan is giving us all these padangal. They all bring you goose pimples, so precise. Doesn't matter, you go to the temple, look at Hanumar Vigraham, or you go to Balaji, Tirupati, wherever, or Muruga, doesn't matter. Wherever you go to the temple, look at the Murtam there, the Vigraham there, Anugraha Vigraham. Pullayar, you go look, any Sannidhi of Pullayar you go. Even on the side streets in Chennai or Tamil Nadu, wherever, just under the tree there may be a Pullayar there. That Vigraham is Anugraha Vigraham, full of Karuna only, granting not only your desires but also protecting us from our own desires. That's also it does. That Anugraha Vigraham. Okay. So anyway, let us take the padangal down. It is such a powerful slokam. I just could not stop myself. Okay. Now 24. Yasya mahitu arvak vrittayah api. Yasya mahi, whose greatness. Okay. Yasya mahitu, in relation to, keeping in mind the greatness. Mahato mahiyan, greater than the greatest. So Parabrahman is there. The moment we get into qualifications, whatever it could be, Shakti, Vivyam, Tejas, whatever call is, Bhagavan we say, the 6 gunangal. No, those are all not relevant at all. Because the moment you think into that, then immediately you see, my God, how Mahato Mahiyan, then also smaller than the smallest. That's also important. Anaro Aniyan. Okay, please remember that. So impossible. So when you compare like that, yasya mahitu in relation to the greatness. Greatness is an inadequate word. Okay, mahimai is probably better. Okay, in relation to that, arvak vrittayaha api, incapable of even coming anywhere near that, even though they are like that, like you and me, seriously, right? Atma bhuva adayaha. Atma bhuva is Brahma. Adayaha, Brahma and others. What did they do? Krita anugraha vigraham. Anugraha vigraham krita. The one, krita means to do. In this case, one who has done what? A murtam, a form that is nothing but embodiment of anugraham. Love, prema, that's all it is. The Daya Swarupam. So the Krita Anugraha Vigraham, that Bhagavan, Bhagavanai, Vigraham, it comes, so we say Bhagavanai. Yatha Mati, the way, whichever way they desired, whichever they wanted. And we're going to see how they all prayed to him. The Suti is going to come by each one of them. And whichever way they wanted, according to their desire, Grinanti Sma. Grinanti, they started their Stuti, prayers. Api arvak vrittayaha yasya mahitu atmabhuva adayah yatha mati grinanti sma krita anugraha vigraham. Now Daksha Prajapati, what did he do? Who is the one who is, in Tamil, Sanskritam, Angīkarikrathe is a phrase that we all use. Most of you would have heard it colloquially. It's a beautiful phrase. Not only permitting it, but also accepting it. Whatever I offer to Bhagavan, Bhagavan Angīkarikrathe. That means he accepts it, receives it very happily. He must be pleased with it. Okay? So, and that is Grihita. That is Bhagavan accepts it. Okay? Everything that is offered with love. Now in this yagam, several things are given. Right from the way the yajna sala is built, the dimensions, the relative dimensions, the shape, the geometry, right? And the various materials brought in there to conduct the yagam, right from the material of construction, the material of pots that carry the water, etc., the darbaigal, the samitigal, so many things are there. Okay, the ajyam, the ghee that is offered, and the stick that is used to offer it. So many materials are there. Okay, plus also the Veda mantrangal. All those, one who accepts all these, that is Bhagavan. Please remember that. Then the Yajneswaram, all the Adhipati, the master, the ruler, the protector of all the Yajnangal, Yajna Iswaram, that is Bhagavan. This then, one who actually taught not only the procedures, the ritualistic procedures through the Vedas, but also one who actually teaches the Atma Vidya itself, removing the darkness, the ignorance of all the things that is created, including Daksha Prajapati, including Brahmadeva. Well, after the creation, there was an ignorance. There was a touch of ego for everyone, isn't it? But removing that darkness, ignorance, who does that? Bhagavan. Yajneswara. One who is also the guru for all the Prajapatigal, for everybody. And this Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, was also at that point, at that time, surrounded by his own retinue. People like Sunanda, Nanda, all those Chatvarigal, all those people are all surrounded. When Bhagavan comes, my God, we must see Prahlada Narasimha discussion. Now, the conversation is unbelievable. Who are all present there? So like Bhagavan is surrounded by all these people. That Bhagavan, to that Bhagavanai, okay, that Dakshan worshipping him very happily, peacefully, did his namaskaram and clasped his both hands together in Anjali and surrendered to him. That's the next sloka. Dakshaha grihita arhana sadhana uttamam yajneswaram visvasrujam param gurum sunanda nandadi anugaihi vratam muda grinan prapede prayataha kruta anjalihi. The prapete Venkateswara prapatti, that you all know, right? Isanam Venkates, right? You all heard that. Prapatti. So immediately must connect. Prapatti means surrender. So Sharanam, Sharanau, Prapadye, we say like that, right? So that word is coming here. So immediately you can understand Prapede, he surrendered. That's grammatically, he surrendered. Okay? Namaskaram, surrendered. Okay. Dakshaha grihita argana sadhana uttamam yajneswaram visvasrajam param gurum sunanda nandadi anugaihi vratam muda. Muda means very happily, blissfully. Grunan prapede prayataha kruta anjalihi. Dakshaha, Dakshan, Daksha Prajapati, grihita arhana sadhana uttamam. Arhana sadhana uttamam. Uttamam, arhana sadhana uttamam grihita. All the materials, all the things required for puja, all the things required, and also the asanam, asanam samarpayami, argyam samarpayami, so many padayoho, padhyam samarpayami, so many things we do even today. All these are all not wasted. Bhagavan is there accepting everything, grihita, okay, taking everything, all these, he permits, he gives, yes, he blesses. Very important, okay. So, Dakshaha, grihita arhana sadhana uttamam, the one Bhagavan who accepts and graces and accepts all the materials used in puja and worship and the yajnangal. Also, yajnas is a yajneswaram, the adipati for all the yajnangal, that Bhagavan, visvam rujam param gurum, one who is the supreme guru for even the prajapatigal, visvam rujam, okay. That Guru, Sunanda Nandadi Anugaihi. Anugaihi means the retinue, the associates. So Sunanda, Nanda, and all the other people, Anugaihi, by them, their parivarangalal, okay, in grammar. Prutam, being surrounded by them, that Bhagavanai, that's Sriman Narayana, Grinan. Very Grinan means praying to him very musically, very beautifully. Grinan, that Dakshaha Grinan, Dakshaha Vritam Grinan, that Bhagavan who has been surrounded by all these people, etc., Yajneswaram, Visvamrajam, that Bhagavan, Grinan praying to him, Muda very happily, peacefully, Prayataha, doing namaskaram, kritanjalihi, like the way we do namaskaram, anjalihi krita, bringing the both palms together, and kritanjalihi, and prayataha, doing namaskaram to him with both hands clasped, and prapede, he surrenders to him. Dakshaha grihita arhana sadhana uttamam yajneswaram visvasrujam param gurum sunanda nandadi anugaihi vritam muda grinan prapede prayataha krita anjalihi. Now, next is Daksha's Stuti. Then Ritvitaha, the Ritvik girl, they all do their Stuti. Then Sadasyaha, all the people present in the Yajnasale, they offer their prayers. Then Rudra offers his prayer, Bhrigu Muni offers his prayers, Stuti, Brahma offers his prayers, Indra. Then the Rishi Patnigal, who are all present there, they all say, and the various Rishigal, they do, Siddhargal, who are present in there. Then the Yajaman, who was Yajamani, the wives of like Prajapati, his daughters, who were all wives of other people, they were all offering their Stuti. Then the Lokapalaha, the various people who not only Dikpalaha, but the various Devadegal with different aspects, that responsibility, they all do there. Then like this it comes. Everyone comes and offers his Stuti. We're going to take it up one at a time. Okay? So this whole Adhyayam is very beautiful and it's very interesting because you're free to worship Bhagavan the way you want, so long as it is done with love. Sincerity, truth and love. That's all. With sincere yearning, you can approach Bhagavan. As Kannappa Nayanar did, he did Archana with stones. He threw stones. That's all he could find there on that hill. No pushpam, nothing. But Bhagavan responded. So it is the attitude, very important. Okay, Bhaktya Prayachati is what Bhagavan says, loving. So each one is now offers his prayer, and we're going to take it one at a time with Bhagavan's grace, starting next session. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.